Hello, namaste, sasikal, good evening. Welcome to the S.S.Chandhok talk show. I'm your host and moderator, S.S. Chandhok. Today, again, in this beautiful evening, we have gathered here with very special guests from the different parts of the country to discuss about a very new and very special topic, that is future of coding. We know very well that we are using the robotics or coding everywhere in every part of life, every technology based things we are using. It may be television, it may be washing machine, whatever we are using. How important it is for the study to study it in school level, that is what we have to discuss, because we know the only positive attitude towards pandemic was that it brought about technology very soon, 5 to 10 years before. And we need to understand this, that it is a technology world, and whatever we are teaching right now may not be useful when the children study and come out. So we have to talk about future, that the future is with coding. And to understand that, because we always say that the youngsters, they are technology residents and we are technology migrant. Right now we were not able to rotate the camera even. So these are the problems which we are facing, but still we are trying. So today we have to try that how can we bring all these things in our schools. We are not knowing about that, but we are leaders, we are genies. We have to carry all these things to our schools and to our school students so that they should get the best. So without taking any time, first of all, I'll introduce you to the very special guest present over here. We have a very big personality from Bareilly, Gunjan Sahani ma'am. She is the principal of a very prestigious institution in Bareilly, that is Sobit Public School. Welcome, ma'am, and thank you so much for coming. Ma'am, although you do not need any introduction, you are so famous in the media with the work you are doing up with your school and all other, that good work you are doing for the people in the society also. But still, we will like to know about your education journey, ma'am. Did you came into this profession by chance or by choice? And from a teacher to a principal to a senior principal in such a reputed institution, ma'am. Gunjan, ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, sir, for those warm words and a kind introduction, firstly. I was born and brought up in Lucknow, then did my entire education from Lucknow up till class 12th in Lamatnia Girls, as we were just talking. Thereafter moved to Delhi and did my grad from Shriram College of Commerce, that is SRCC, Delhi University. I had masters from Delhi School of Economics. Now, as you asked whether I went into teaching profession by choice or by chance, when after SRCC in my final year, most of my batchmates were preparing for CAT entrance or maybe other corporate sector jobs, I was very clear at that point of time that I have to go into teaching. Very, very clear, right from day one. And thereafter, that's the reason I went in for my master's and thereafter B.Ed and an M.Ed and so on and so forth, a couple of 2 more master's degrees after that, because probably this was a calling that had me, that motivated me, and I was very, very passionate about it. And fortunately, I consider myself really fortunate that I've had the chance to work across the spectrum of the country, be it north, south, east, or west. And because of my diverse exposure, diverse experience with different kinds of institutions, different set of work cultures, different set of staff members, students from different backgrounds, I think this is the greatest asset that I have accumulated over these years. And this is what helps me that is what I bring to the table probably when I am in discussion or amongst discussion with people, and something I'm very, very proud of. And I hope that whatever little contribution I'm making as a principal in this city, I continue forward to do that. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, ma'am, you will do so, and you're doing so. And ma'am, which was your first school as a teacher?
My first school as a teacher was in Ranchi Army Public School. As a PGT Commerce, I was working there. Got to work there for around 2.5 years. Thereafter,
So you were teaching accounts over there?
Accounts and business studies books.
Thank God I got to know someone who was accounts teacher, because I'm myself an accounts teacher.
Oh, so thumbs up to that.
Thumbs up to that. So, all the time PGT English are coming, or maybe humanities side or whatever it is. But nobody was coming on my side like PGT accounts. Nice to have you here, man. Please.
Thank you.
And ma'am, you are also in the KSS also, I think, secretary as Sahodaya secretary in Bareilly, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, I am the secretary of Bareilly Sahodaya Schools Complex since past 1 year, and we've been trying to bring about some positive changes for the betterment of all the students across the city, as well as not just students but teachers, principals as well. And touch with God's grace, Sahodaya is doing really well.
I know, ma'am, because you people are doing very wonderful work, because the main work is of the president and secretary only, mostly. And whatever you work you are doing, I am heard from many of the principals from Bareilly and nearby also. That what wonderful work the Sahodaya of Bareilly is doing.
Probably we have a very good team of principals here, and their support is what makes it possible. Without everybody's support and contribution, it's difficult to execute things. But
Ma'am, but there is also the need of a good leader who can lead all the schools together. That is also very important. Sahodayas are working everywhere. There are Sahodayas only. I just told in Indore, there are 163 schools. Ma'am is handling all the schools together as the chairperson, and secretary also has very important work over there. And there are many places, there are 4 Sahodayas also. I came to know from Ludhiana, there are 4 Sahodayas.
yeah.
So that is also what is the level of the working over there, how you keep satisfy your all people and all. That is also very important.
I
Thank you
think
so much. Yeah,
for Sahodaya success, it's very important to have a very, very democratic setup, wherein you
obviously.
give chance to different people to come out into the core committee, and an opportunity to do a good work for all the other schools.
Absolutely right. Yesterday also we had a program for the meritorious students who got topped in all the schools in Kanpur South. Yes, we had the program in Landmark. I hope you know the name of the hotel Landmark. We had a program yesterday with we call the RO of Allahabad, the Prayagraj region which lies under us. So called her. She was there. We had a good time with her, and she's a very good and gentle lady. But a good experience with her also. I'll share that also with. Thank you so much, ma'am, and welcome, ma'am. Next, we have Sameer sir. Sameer Asif sir. He is the principal of another institution in Malalapuram, Kerala, that is Ideal Public School. Welcome, sir, once again to the show. Nice to see you, the talented person like you to see over here. Sir, we will like to know about yourself as well as about your kids, the wonderful kids, the very different kids, gifted kids. Sir,
Gratitude, sir. Good evening to all. My name is Sameer, and basically, I'm from Delhi, and I've been working in Kerala for last 3 years with the capacity of a principal in a CBSE school. And I've been here second time, I suppose, in this wonderful show, and really, it gives a very better platform to connect other people, dignitaries, different type of educators. So I'm very much happy to be there again. Thank you so much, Chandhok sir.
sir, we would like to know about your journey, sir, educational journey, and about your kids also. You told something about us, about your kids. I don't remember that. People will also like to know about that.
Okay. Uh, yes, sir. As far as journey is concerned, I started my career from multinationals. I was a part of IBM and Hewitt, and then I was in learning and development department. So it leads me to the education sector. So later on, I chose education sector. I did my B.Ed after my MBA, and I have started my career with the competitive worlds. I was a faculty of Akash Institute. I was a part of FITZI and Career Launcher as well. Then after I moved to school education, a formal one, and I was a part of GD Goenka also, Lucent International, and then I moved to South just for the sake of change to know the educational background over there. So I was quite happy over there. But recently I have made up my mind to move back to Delhi, my hometown, and right now I'm in Delhi during this Onam vacations because I'm planning to have my own startup in the field of educational management. It's a long-term vision of mine, and I have already started working on this for last 6 months. And I am intent to start my own startup here only within a month or two. So I'm planning to relocate now to Delhi. I've already given my notice period and everything. They are planning to retain me, but I think I would be here in Delhi now. Second, about my kids, I'm blessed with two kids. One is daughter Alma. She is in grade 8th, 12 years old, and she's a soft skill trainer, YouTuber, podcaster, blogger, multi-talented personality with a linguistic prodigy. She used to take some sessions for the teachers and sometimes principals when it comes to corporate training and soft skill trainings. She's a certified soft skill trainer and India Book of Record holder also. And my junior kid, my son Avan, is a maths prodigy. He is maths wizard, I should say, because he is in grade six. He jumped from grade four to grade six this year only, 8 years old, and he can solve the mathematics problems up to 10th class. In fact, he can teach up to 10th class mathematics. Besides, he is a chess champion, and he is very much relevant to today's topic also, the coding, because he himself learned coding through YouTube only without any help, and he knows much about this, like what's coding, Python, Java, C++, SQL, so many things. He is developing some apps also. He has developed 2 3 apps till now, and his age is 80 years only. So this is how he is
So
with
you,
me right now.
sir, you have taught him or he is teaching you? Have you learned something from
Uh,
him or you are teaching him?
No, sir. He learned himself. Both the kids. Actually, I'm a aptitude trainer also when I was in Akash Institute. So I try to develop the brain, attitude, and aptitude of the students, be it my son, my kids, or my students. So this is my niche, I should say, that I believe in CPU rather than the DVDs and CDs. So I directly work out on the brain. So from the very beginning, I know that my daughter has a linguistic ability, linguistic intelligence, and son has the logical intelligence proportionally higher. So we tend to push them in that direction. I just give them direction, whatever they want. They want Wi-Fi connectivity or laptops or all these facility I give, and moreover than any other thing, I give the direction to them. Direction is very much important, sir, for
That's
kids.
wonderful. That's wonderful, sir. That's wonderful. Sir, I like to have your family photograph, sir. We'll keep it. I will keep it as a source of inspiration, sir, to our kids at home also, in our schools also. You know, positive vibes you'll have from that for sure. And you know,
Thank you, sir.
wonderful kids you have, sir. Everybody will like to have such type of kids, blessed kids.
Thank you, sir.
That's a compliment, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Once again coming. Then we have a very eminent personality who is a very favorite of mine, Sukhpan Singh Thapar, sir. He is the principal of DPS Nigai. He has started DPS Nigai. I don't know how till time he will be taking over the Nigai DPS. And last 24 years he has completed over there. And sir started his career also from DPS. I'm revealing. He started from any of the branch of he'll be telling DPS. So he from very starting he had 30 plus years whatever experience he has experience of DPS only. He is a very talented person. If people know, if they are on the media, on the social media, you will find him everywhere. He knows about Guru Granth Sahib. He knows about Gita, Quran, Bible, everything. All the shloks and chants he has, has explained in English. So many big vlogger. I don't know what is the meaning. My English is very tight. So whatever the thing is, that he has written a lot of things on that. Sir, my pleasure, sir. Welcome, sir. And yeah, my humble request. You are such a humble person. You have come once again, sir. Sir, how much productivity you have, sir? What are you doing throughout the 24 into 7? You're looking after the school also. You're looking after the kids also. You're looking at your home also. Your daughter is also an influencer. And सर आप तो उससे भी आगे निकल गए सर आप इस एज में आके सर सर ये हमारी तो सफेद हो रही है सर आपकी तो अभी भी ब्लैक है सर क्या राज है आपके ब्लॉग और ब्लॉग का इसका नहीं
सर दाढ़ी का तो डाइंग है सर इट्स नॉट नेचुरल
अच्छा ठीक है सर सर
ओके
सर प्लीज सर आप नो नीड टू हैव इंट्रोडक्शन बट स्टिल सर please let us know about yourself sir
good evening to everyone. It was nice listening to Gunjan ma'am and Samir sir. Nice to know about Alma and your son. You didn't tell the name of your son.
It's Avan.
Avan and Alma. You have been blessed with having such lovely children, and would like to interact with them in future. So we'll stay in touch, and we shall really try to take up a session with Salma as well as your son for the kids, and that will be nice. And thank you, Sarpreet Singh ji, for again making me part of this kind of session, where I always end up learning more from others than contributing. And I know a little bit of whatever you have said, Guru Granth Sahib Ji, Bible. It was like I had to go through it because we had the Paradise Lost in our post-graduation time. And my lecturer had advised me to go through Bible for understanding the Paradise Lost better. So that way, one after the other, like I got into reading a lot. So once I read, like I was reading Robin Sharma, and I liked his book, which most of you might have read, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. And then I read his other books like Who Will Cry When You Die. So I was quite impressed with Robin Sharma. And then I thought, who is Robin Sharma following? And then I came to know from his books that he followed Stephen Covey. So I wanted to read Stephen Covey. So that way, I connect. So if I like someone, I try to find out who he or she follows. And then I try to read them. Like for another example I'll give you is, I was reading about Nilekani. Nilekani, the one who has worked for Aadhaar card in our country. So I was reading his articles wherein he had written about Thomas Friedman. Thomas Friedman was his colleague at Infosys. So then I came to know about the book written by Thomas Friedman, The World is Flat. So I read that book. So that way, you get so much of knowledge from various corners. So that way, I know a little bit of Bible, I know a little bit of Quran and Guru Granth Sahib. Not much, very little. Whatever I could gather, I've tried to put it into these small videos by keeping the audience who want to understand these things in English, because these things are available at local languages. Punjabi, you have a lot of information regarding Guru Granth Sahib, but then in English, I thought, let me put it across whatever I have understood, and I've tried to do that. As far as my educational journey is concerned, I come from a very remote place in Odisha. My parents were migrants. They shifted from Rawalpindi and Pindike way back on 17th of August 1947 in the turmoil. So they had come from there, and my maternal parents, they settled down in Jamshedpur, that is now in Jharkhand, and paternal parents got settled in Sagar, Madhya Pradesh. When my parents married, they shifted over to Odisha for their livelihood. My sister and I, we were born and brought up there. And I completed my post-graduation from, I did schooling from those remote places like Jaipur and Sunabeda. But for my post-graduation, I was able to get myself enrolled in Ravenshaw College, Cuttack. My English department, just on 3rd of September, has completed 100 years of establishment. So I couldn't go for that alumni meet there, but I got the video from there, and I really feel proud to be a Ravensian. From there onwards, I was trying to prepare for my civil services, but then 1984 happened. Again, there was a big loss for my father's business, and then there onwards, I started looking out for a job. I came across the advertisement of DPS Korba. I applied for it. My guide, the head of psychology department of Andhra University, he was very reluctant. He was not allowing me to go, but I took permission. I said, let's go and appear in the interview and see. And when I appeared in the interview, I got selected. And then I told my guide that let me go there. I shall be able to prepare well there. And I stayed there in the school for a year. And in that year, I realized the importance of being a teacher in a school like DPS. And then I made up my mind by the end of the year that I shall give up my ambition of being a civil servant, and I don't have any regrets for having taken that decision. And from there onwards, I thought, let me be a good teacher. And from second year onwards, that is 1988 onwards, I did my best, and God has been great.
And took over all the DPS.
No, not like
till then, from 88 to 2022 and further on.
No, after that, I think my journey has been very interesting. Like from 92, 93 onwards, CBSE came out with the ELT project, which I had missed in 1987. Because 1987 I had just joined when CBSE had made a survey of taking in teachers for this ELT project. I had just joined, so I missed it. The condition was that the teacher has to have taught class 10 for 5 years. So I missed that. But 94, I again joined it. I attended a beautiful workshop of 11 days at Delhi College, Indore. And there, Mr. S.K. Gangal, Mrs. Sadhna Parashar, they were there with this ELT project, and they picked me up to become their resource person. And I was included among the key resource persons also, where we drafted the various assignments for the principal, for the resource persons to carry out these workshops of 11 days, 6 days, 2 days, 1 day. So I was part of that. It made my journey more interesting. And I'm thankful to my principal, Dr. B. Singh, who always helped me and motivated me to go and conduct these workshops for various schools like Kendra Vidyalayas, Navodaya Vidyalayas, and other public schools. So my journey was going that way. And then 98, my society gave me this responsibility of heading DPS Nigai. I am here. This school is sponsored by Northern Coalfields Limited. And we are catering to the needs of both the children of Northern Coalfields Limited as well as non-company children. And we have a Sahodaya group here. We have 21 schools under this Sahodaya, which includes various DAVs and other public schools over here. And I am the president of this Sahodaya group. We are also working and trying to make things better for the children of this area.
Sir, listening to you was so wonderful. I just went into the history. Like the invaders, they tried to invade in 1988, 87, 1988. They were not able to invade, though after 2 years becoming more powerful, they invaded. And they don't took over only the one territory only, they took over the whole India. And now, just now we have revealed, after a long time I'm knowing you, that you are the Saudi president also there.
Sir.
Sir, if you have studied up in remote areas, if you would have studied in the bigger cities or somewhere in Stanford or Oxford, so what would have happened to poor people like us?
I don't know, sir. I recently completed one course from Harvard University also.
No.
I've just completed that course, and I've been given a certificate from the Harvard University.
Sir, your achievements, you can have a thick book also, that will be little less for you. Every time when I'm meeting you, something or other you are revealing, and I'm coming to know what you are doing. Although many things you're sending on WhatsApp also, but sir, hats off to you, sir. How much knowledge do you get from sir? I have your photo pic already, I have with me, but I was asking for Samir sir's family, but kids also. But I have your, because I'm quite inspired by you. So many things.
Thank you.
And you started this YouTubing, I think, during the pandemic, as you told.
Yes, sir.
Sir, same here, sir. I also started up in this age with you having up these type of shows. And let me tell you, I've completed my 100 shows, 102, 103 shows. I don't remember exactly, but 100 plus shows I've already done. So you get inspired by good things when you get appreciation from the people, connecting with good people throughout the country. Few of the episodes I've done with the principals abroad also. Indian principals with Indian CBSE schools, they're working abroad from different countries. So this is the, the goodness of this, technology. With the help of which we have gathered over here, and we gathered so much of things. So one other thing was missing, two of them. One I got with Abhishek Mishra ji, that you please help me out. I want to come up with coding and this robotics, because this is a very important, it's a need of the hour. Thank you so much, Sukhwan sir. It's take a day time or 2 days time to introduce you, because so many achievements you have. You inspire a lot of us, lots and lots of us.
I think I'd just like to add up over here, because I'm into third decade of my principalship. The first decade, I had to pursue and motivate people for allowing me to introduce computers in the school. That is way back in 98. Second decade, I think I had to motivate and pursue for introducing smart classes. And now in the third decade, I think we are coming to these codings and the topic that we
robotics and all. That's wonderful, sir. That's wonderful, sir. Thank you, sir, and welcome, sir. Next, we have Meenakshi Sharma, ma'am. She is the principal of a very prestigious institution in Faridabad, that is Saraswati Global School. Thank you and welcome, ma'am, and congratulations also, because you have just changed your place and designation, I mean your city also. Welcome, ma'am, Meenakshi ma'am. Ma'am, because you have come to the very first time in the show, please let us know about yourself, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. And it's my pleasure to be a part of this webinar. However, my schooling is done from various Kendriya Vidyalayas, KVs, because of the association of my father with Air Force. So we keep on moving. So you can say that I was always living in a multicultural environment, and I was, in sports. I am a higher achiever. I was national player of 400 and 800 races and long jump. Uh, just because of that, I was selected for the first batch of Jammu and Kashmir that electronics and telecommunication diploma. So I completed that, and I was not from those students that do what you want to do. At that time, there was a peer pressure of parents and society. So I completed my electronics and telecommunication. However, I got married, and we were in Sikkim, where by chance, I have to take classes of computer classes for 9th and 10th in 1999, because at that time, the computers were introduced in the classes. Yeah. So I started, and slowly and steadily, I came to know that I am a very good teacher. The teaching skill is instilled in me. So there I was working in DAV Sikkim. So one of the governors from Delhi came for inspection, and he just told me that, Meenakshi, go for the academics, study more and pursue and come in the education field rather than going to another field. So when we got posting in Bhopal for Narmada Dam, my husband, so I started, studying again. So I completed my BA and B.Ed in Barkatullah University, and I just get to know about one of the very good personality, head of the department, Barkatullah English department, Mrs. Rajni Pandey ma'am. Yeah, so she was my mentor, and she inspired me to become a teacher. And also, I have a work experience in a chock-a-block, of myriad fields. Like I worked in, multinational companies also, in HCL also here in Noida. And I worked with Madam also to teach all MPs of Madhya Pradesh, teaching them how to work on computers, because at that time computers were gifted, laptops were gifted to MPs in Madhya Pradesh. So, and I am a sportswoman, not very, I'm really happy to meet everyone here. So after that, I was having a leadership quality, which I utilized. And another mentor, Mr. Dhar, he was director academics there in Sirsa in Haryana. He just took me. At that time, I was working as a coordinator, and he selected me and, give me a position as a vice principal in Mata Harki Devi Senior Secondary School. So that was a very good experience where I get to know all the ins and outs. The best appreciation I got from Mr. Dhar, that I used to take case to case. I have lots of case studies. And due to that quality, I completed my NLP also, that is neuro-linguistic programming. So, from Mohammed Rafi, he's from Kerala. And I worked in various schools. This is my 10th year working as a principal. And yeah,
That's wonderful, man. Versatile experience. All the experienced people are here. I am having the least experience. I didn't a lot of things in my life. But a good thing I did is I started up with this show and coming up to the people. who are, I'm getting depressed looking after so many educated people over there. You don't have such experience of. I had also worked with many institutions with the branded schools like DPS, like Singhanias, like you have that JGI's Bangalore. I have worked with the Japurians also. And I did my 3 post graduations: MCom, MA, LLB, BEd, and MA education. But still, I feel I'm very low. This is my 26th year as into the education. Again, the third decade of into the education. But sir, you have the third decade of as a principal. You see, when you come to people like this, you feel that you are very low in front of them, and still you have to learn. Even I tell to my teachers also that 1% or 10% I've learned, still 90% I have to learn. And this is what I'm a CBSE resource person from Delhi directly. I'm doing a lot of things along with this also. So I'm trying to spread education. This is the only purpose we should have. Next, we have a very eminent personality, the showstopper, or what you can say, the expert of the show, Mr. Abhishek Mishra. Abhishek Mishra, sir, he met me in one of the show, and I just requested him. He told formally about him. I'm telling you that Abhishek has done his BTech in computer engineering from NIT Jaipur and masters from BITS Pilani and certification in algorithms design and analysis from Stanford University. He has worked with companies like Motorola, Adobe, Walmart Labs, and few more. He's the founder and CTO at Preserve Technologies. His core areas of interest is LOT, machine learning, robotics, computer vision, and OpenGL and biomedics. He loves doing yoga and pranayam daily and loves to swim daily. All the things you're doing together. One more talented person has come over here. Talking about all this codings and robotics, I had a very less knowledge about it. And I requested him. He met me in one of the show. I requested him, sir, please come to our show because I am desperately looking for a person who should come up along with me as an expert. As you know, this is the theme of the show, to have an expert to guide us about coding, guide us about robotics, because we are, again, I'm telling, we are technology migrants. We need to know that how we should carry this forward to our kids. When should we start? From which classes to start? What actually robotics is? What do we know as robotics is right, or what the things are different? So first of all, Abhishek sir, welcome and thank you so much for the second time coming again. Please let us know about yourself and how did you came into your mind to start this startup, and a little about coding or robotics. Please, over to you.
So, thank you, sir, and it's been an honor to speak in front of all these dignitaries, including you, sir. Like you all are very senior and very respected person in your respective fields. Sir. So thanks a lot for giving me opportunity to come and share my experience. So, sir, we basically, I started my career as an engineer. I was lucky to work with different MNCs in India as well as in the USA. Then, like when we started exploring the technology penetration in the education sector, sir, we saw like the real penetration is very less. And if I talk about the coding or robotics, I saw like the we were not doing the correct thing. Like let's start with coding, sir. Coding, like technology is definitely playing a very important role in our everyone's life, sir. The way we are interacting with each other, like that is totally based on the technology. Using technology only, we all are interacting with each other, discussing and debating. So technology is playing a very major role. And as you see, like technology, after post-pandemic, the technology is also evolving very rapidly. The penetration has also gone significantly in our day-to-day life. So coding again plays a very important role for kids. Like the way we teach a math to a kid or a science to a kid, why not we should teach coding also. By coding, I do not say like you ask, with due respect to one of the respected principal, because he is gifted with a talented child. But unfortunately, each and every kid is not that much talented. So with due respect to him, I'm just talking about the average kid, like me or any other kid in India. So we should not basically he or she should not like know how to write a code in C or C++ or Python at a very young age. But what is a coding, or what does a computer do? A computer basically does whatever we ask him to do. Coding or programming is nothing but a sequence of logical instructions we give to computer, and it simply performs. So all we need to do is inculcate that habit to the kids from a very like from class 1, 2, or whatever class you feel relevant. So we are not here to teach them coding, but at least we should inculcate the logical ability, the way a computer works, how to interact with computer, Those kind of things we can inculcate since childhood. I would say from class 1. So we can start with something called visual programming. Like these days, every kid is playing with Lego blocks or some other blocks. The way they arrange the pictures and a puzzle and something comes up. Visual programming or block-based programming is pretty much does the same thing, but in a computer, the language in which computer understand. Suppose you want a cat to move, so what you will say, you will just say move to computer and it will move a cat. Those kind of logical ability we can inculcate since the beginning, rather than waiting for them to go to the college or class 10th or 11th, then start learning, because they may find them at that time a bit difficult, especially when they directly go to the college and start doing the programming. That will be a bit difficult for them. And now, if I talk about West, they are doing it since very early. Like you take any country, like Finland, they teach us block-based programming after the age of 7, not before the age of 7, but after the age of 7, they start teaching block-based programming. US is also doing the same. Stanford is also doing the same. Stanford also launched something for kids actually. So most of the developed countries are already doing it. So why not we should do it in India? Now the second point, which is very important for me from my point of view, school. For me, like whatever we go and study, whatever kids do in the school, they should learn it. They should learn the coding also at the school. A kid is learning math at the school. A kid is learning English at the school. A kid is learning Hindi or any other subject at the school. Why not we should teach coding them at the school, rather than parents would spend a big amount online and kids spend the time out of school hours to learn the coding. So I am totally against of that. But my belief or my complete belief is like, since we are teaching everything at the school, why not we should teach coding at the school? Now
So we'll talk about coding, sir, but we want to clear out what misconcept we have with the coding robotics. Like people say that we have attached something and it is robotics or coding. First, we like to know about that.
Definitely. Now coming back to robotics, sir, actually there is a very big misconception. What generally we do in the robotics, sir, we assemble few things and something starts moving. But that is not the real robotics, sir. If I take an example of our human beings, sir, the way we are interacting, we are doing n number of things, correct? First of all, sir, my eyes is looking at the picture and I'm grasping some input from my eyes, if I talk about eye. Then with using ears, we are listening many things. Our skin is sensing the temperature and all those things. If the temperature is low, we wear the coat. If the temperature is high, we do something. So there are multiple sensors which are making us human. The same thing we have to do for the robotics also. We need to teach kids how a robot should work, like how it should sense some image, how it should sense, it should take input from the surrounding environment. So that is what is missing in these days, basically. So we are also trying to bridge that gap using robotics. A real robotic is something, when I talk about robot or when I visualize about robot now, I visualize myself as a robot, because more or less whatever computer is doing, that is inspired by human brain only. We are just trying to mimic that in every field, sir. Even in the quantum also, we are trying to mimic human brain. So whatever we are doing, we are taking human as a reference. So why not take the same reference for robotics also? Let's teach kids about those small things, like, okay, how to sense the temperature, how to read, how to sense an input from your voice, how to sense an image. Those kind of input we should teach to the kids, the basic building blocks. And once they learn those things, we can like collate them and create a big robot. That's what we are doing at Pfizer Technologies, sir.
Right. Thank you so much, sir. We'll try to understand more of the things in the later part of the session.
Yes.
But before that, we will have start up the suggestion round, not actually question round. I'll come up to Gunjan ma'am. Gunjan ma'am, we like to know what are your perspective or thinking about coding.
Yeah, sure, sir. Firstly, before I begin, I'm reminded of very beautiful lines, what Albert Einstein said. He said that computers are highly accurate, incredibly fast, but stupid. However, humans are very slow, very highly inaccurate at times, but brilliant. And if we combine both, computers, by computers I mean any kind of a machine or technology, and computers and humans, if we combine, then we get an amazing result. So probably that is what we define technology as. If I have to, for me, I'm not a computer person, but as a layman, how I understand coding is that if I have to communicate with you, I have a language with me. I'm speaking in English, you understand English, or I speak in Hindi, you understand Hindi. So that is very easy to communicate between two humans. However, if I have to communicate with machines, so that is human to machine interaction, or maybe it is machine to machine interaction, then also we need a language which machines understand. And for that, there are different kinds of computer languages, be it C++, Java, Python, so on and so forth. But even after, or maybe these languages are there, again, how to communicate through these languages with the machines. Probably when I interact with humans, it is much, much, much more simpler and easier, because humans have their prior set of knowledge. They have their prior experiences. There are many things which probably I'll take for granted when I'm talking to you, which I'll know that they will know, but I cannot have some same assumptions when I'm communicating or giving a set of instructions to machines. And therein this, the entire role of a code or coding comes in. When code is probably one set of instruction or one instruction that I give to the machine, what I expect the machine to do at a probably very high speed. And coding will be a set of written instructions, a series of instructions which I give to the system so that it performs the desired output. Now, ranging from coding at a very simple level, basic level, going ahead with programming, with software developments, with machine learning, with artificial intelligence, the level can go on and on increasing. However, in schools, for our children, of course, it is highly applaudable that National Education Policy has envisioned to start it from 6th grade onward. But as Abhishek sir was also saying, coding is not something new. We or children from young age have to apply coding. And when I say apply coding in their day-to-day lives, it's just simple logical thinking, logical reasoning. And kind of it is said that if we stop using our brains logically, our brain's capacity to work also reduces. So when we use coding, or maybe probably when we do it formally from 6th grade and onwards, as NEP says, it's kind of giving it a, giving our brains a good workout session at the gym, wherein, they are nicely being rubbed into, and nicely they are being trained to use their brains in a logical manner, which will help them in developing higher order thinking skills for future ahead. Also, coding need not, many people misinterpret it that only if I'm interested in going ahead with careers which are related to technology, I should be having these skills. This is a big myth. Probably coding has become, kind of a basic or a mandate or a must ability or a skill that this generation and should have, because I think that there are hardly very few other skills which are probably more important than coding. And in all future career prospects that will be there, coding will be an essential skill that our students will need to succeed across the spectrum, be it any field, because the kind of data that is available these days, which has to be processed, be it in businesses, in corporate houses, related to competitors or employees, or your, all decisions are based on data, and how to handle these data, the set of coding instructions to be given to assess that, to make your data more useful. It is an imperative skill. And it has to be, the habit has to be inculcated right in the early years in school. And I think that with NEP reinforcing that concept, all schools will take it up more consciously. If I may just add, probably as we discussed, or we were telling that I am here a part of Sahodaya core committee also. So a few days back, we were making our annual calendar for the Sahodaya. And every year, there are kind of similar activities that are being repeated, similar kind of competition. So one of our members, he suggested that why not, when we keep talking about 21st century skills, why not have a competition for children, which is based on such skill sets. So then we organized a programming competition, inter-school programming competition. And believe me, we were taken aback. We were in for a surprise. The children surpassed our expectation levels. They were brilliant. We never expected, because that was the first time that we did an, inter-school programming contest. And I mean, the generation is, these millennials are brilliant. They have it in their genes, they have it in their DNA. So only the least that we as educationists have to do is give them opportunities to explore, to blossom, and then they are unstoppable. Thanks.
Absolutely right, ma'am. Wonderful. A very good and precise answer you have given. And these people, I told you, they are technology resident. They have born up with technology. It is surprising for us, because we are technology migrants. We are trying to learn the technology, but they are born in the technology. You are absolutely right that they need only, an opportunity, and you just see what they can do. That's wonderful, ma'am. That's wonderful. Thank you so much, ma'am. We'll come up to Samir, sir. Samir, sir, we will also like to know, because you are also directly related to the same field. So, sir, please let us know about what is coding according to you.
Coding has different meanings actually. One coding is like what we say something and we have to decode. For example, if I'm saying something to you, so it's a kind of coding. And whatever you are interpreting or inferring, that is decoding. Another way is coding, as I used to have some sessions of the reasoning, that coding. But I think you mean coding here is the computer programming. So coding is a kind of predecessor of the high-end programming of the computer languages, where we used to give the instruction in the textual form in the different ways to the computers, to the machines, because computer only understand binary digits generally. So there are some tools, there are some languages like C, C++, Java. So by this, we used to write something and it is converted into the form of binary language. That's coding, which is much hyped nowadays. But according to me, coding is essential nowadays. Basically, the basics of the coding, the understanding, the applicability of the coding is necessary for all, because it's somehow directly or indirectly related to our day-to-day life. As we are using gadgets, iOS or Androids or any remote or machine, computer, tabs, everywhere there is a coding, there is a programming, there is a artificial intelligence, there is a machine learning. So many things are there which are interconnected. But sometimes because of the market demand, people don't understand the real need of the coding, or whether one should pursue career in coding or not. And everyone wants to be like Wolf Gupta. You must be knowing Whitehead Junior cases and all those things. So according to me, first of all, we have to recognize whether coding is appropriate for a particular person or not. Everyone cannot be a doctor or an engineer. In the same way, logical brain versus linguistic brain versus kinesthetic intelligence, different aspects are there. But yes, in the beginning, we have to present coding to everyone. We have to explain what exactly is coding, and basic things are to be taught to all the students. Now we have to find out whether they are compatible for that or not. For example, there is one term very much common in IITs, not fit for technical education, NF uh, TD, technical TE, NFTE. So if they are not fit for technical education, they will not go higher in the coding, because coding requires so much in-depth logical intelligence. So many factors are there. I should not describe all those things which is required for the to become a programmer or the coder. But in the beginning, we should we should introduce coding, chess, reasoning, poetry, everything to the students, and let them choose, let them develop. According to basic pedagogy, what we can do is just to find out the best from the students. We need not to teach them. A teacher has to be a felicitator. He has to introduce each and everything. We cannot produce Mother Teresa or Vivekananda ji. They will be their own course of action. We have to introduce them and guide them according to their wish, not according to the parents' ambitions or the teacher psychology or the market. So this is, for example, Steve Jobs is the best example. He learned all these calligraphy and those things, and he utilized those things into the coding also, in the form of iPhones and all, the aesthetic view of the technology. So in short, coding is a way which is a must, and everyone should be aware about the coding. I request all the educators also to introduce coding initially in their schools, in their environment. That is the best thing. Thank you.
That's wonderful, sir. Thank you so much, sir. It is what's rightly said by Gunjan ma'am also, that coding should be taught like any other language or subject is being taught. And a teacher, what you said, very good thing. A teacher is now a facilitator. So he should facilitate, and he should bring forward He should not get rigid that this was the best way, I'm not going to adopt with the new technologies. He has to, otherwise he'll be thrown away from the market, from the society or the market. Thank you so much, sir. We'll come up to Sukhwan sir. Sukhwan sir, Tapar sir, we will like to know that what are your views on the saying that why should we adopt, or teach coding in schools? And that too from the very basic. Because we have been seeing, sir, till now we've been seeing students, they start take coding in 11th and 12th. If I'm not wrong, CS, computer science or C++, whatever they take, they start doing it from 11th, 12th, but it is being recommended that the coding should start from the primary level only. So, you're on mute, sir.
Thank you, Sarpreet ji. It was lovely listening to Gunjan ma'am's views as well as Sameer sir's views regarding coding. I feel that, it is said or believed, or it's a fact rather, that 65% of the students, today's students, will be landing up in jobs which at present we are unaware of what kind of job they will be getting into. And as I said earlier, that the first decade of my principalship, I had to work a lot and keep motivating the parents to agree for introducing computers in the school. Computer literacy was the trend at that time. And I had to conduct several meetings with parents and tell them the benefits of this computer literacy. And second decade, we went in for smart classes, and now it's something like introducing of artificial intelligence and coding. I am a layman as far as computer is concerned, but the technology part of it I've learned to use, and I've been in various social medias which I'm comfortable with. At times when I go into the computer labs and I see these little children, especially when they were learning computers, they go in for feeding certain formulas in the computer, and then like I used to ask them, what are you doing? I'm talking of classes 3 and 4. So they tell me, sir, we are going to make a square. And when they feed certain codes and the screen shows a square or a circle or a triangle, the happiness that comes on their faces is worth watching. So similarly, I feel there is nothing but coding. They're learning to code and then get the results on the screen. I think learning how to code will make them more creative. They can create their own small games, their storylines. The political cartoon that we see on Aaj Tak, where they show the politicians and the latest trend that is going on, it is displayed so well in a humorous form, which is accepted by everyone. Everyone enjoys it. So that is also created by someone who is well versed in coding. As Gunjan ma'am said, that we need to trust the children with more and more things. I recall my experience of 1994 when through interactive English, there was an exercise given in main course book where we had to entrust the children of the class. We were asked to form 8 or 10 groups of the class as per the size of the classroom, and ask each of the group to say write their own small skit which they can and present it in the class related to the topic of the lesson. I was a little reluctant at that time whether the children will be able to do it or not. But when I did it, I had a block period. I organized it, and the results that came out by the end of the like second period, when last 30 minutes were left and I asked them to perform in front of the class, I was so motivated by seeing their performance that I went to my principal during the break time, requested him. I said, sir, please spare your time and come to my class, not today, but tomorrow, so that I can display to you what my children have done. And when my principal came in and saw that these children were prepared and they did everything on their own, they wrote the dialogues, they acted, he was very happy. And I felt so nice that I entrusted them with this and the result was very nice. So I learned a lesson that never to underestimate the talent of the children. This coding, if it is introduced in the school at lower levels, it will enable the children to take up smaller tasks, risk it, fail, and again try, because there's nothing to lose. And unless and until one is allowed to keep trying, and on the screen, in the classroom, in the computer lab, it's very safe. Same thing if they are doing at home also, it's very safe. So if they do that, and if they're committing errors also, they can come out of it and redo it. So I always say to my students that गिरते हैं से सवार ही मैदान जंग में, वो तिफल क्या गिरेंगे जो घुटनों के बल चलते हैं. So why to be scared of coding? Let us allow, but yes, at the same time, we should not create a big hype around it. कि आपने coding नहीं सीखी तो आगे आप कुछ नहीं कर पाओगे. Even this is a warning for all of us to believe in. The ones who are interested, let them go ahead. The ones who are not, let us not compel them. Because when you see the websites of various companies, especially like there was an application which of that thing, White Hut application. There was a big hype created about it that you need to join with that, and even the course fees was somewhere about 99,000 rupees for the children to learn to take lessons of 155 lessons will be delivered, and by the time children will complete 40-50 lessons, your child will start earning lakhs of rupees, and that kind of hype we need to avoid. But yes, if you ask me that should we introduce, we have already introduced artificial intelligence right from class 1 onwards. Children are working on it, but I also at the same time I also ask my teachers not to create a hype, and it should be taken as, like, suppose in music lesson, if in the music class, if the music teacher, if some child is not interested in music, let us not compel the child to learn it. Similarly, same attitude we should adopt for these classes also. This is what I believe. I'm
Absolutely right, sir.
Yes, sir.
And Sanskrit also, I'll compare Sanskrit with coding also, because Sanskrit is a coding language.
Yes.
So many, because in Russia they say that maximum people they use Sanskrit because that is a coding language, and so many students and so many schools they have started Sanskrit from grade 1 as of now. I've come to know, because when you're getting connected with different principals all over the country, they have started Sanskrit from grade 1 because that's a very beautiful language. People are horrified Sanskrit I wasn't able to do during my 3 years when I had it in my schooling. But mind it, it is a coding language. It is a coding language. That is very important for this also. So there's so many beautiful things have come. The main thing is we don't have to underestimate our students. They can do anything at any age level if they're not burdened. Thank you so much, sir. We'll come up to Meenakshi ma'am. Meenakshi ma'am, we will also like to know your views in precise that does coding develops other skills also along with the language they learn.
Thank you, sir. And it's very insightful hearing everybody sitting. And yes, certainly coding develop different skills. I can say that coding can teach kids skills for life, and they become critical thinker. In a sense, coding builds the capacity to analyze a situation, identify its key components, model the necessary data and processes, and create a refined program that can solve the issue at hand. Therefore, programming processes require creative thought, structured reasoning, collaboration, and logic, of all which employ to create elegant solutions to real world problems. And the practice of coding has been linked to creative therapy techniques, since it represents a safe space for individuals to explore new ideas, as rightly said by Sukhwant Singh sir, that there will be errors, there will be mistakes, but the students themselves are going to own that. So, moreover, it allows children to express themselves in a format other than spoken words. Coding can help children develop their creative thinking skills and boost confidence levels, since the results of solving a problem, a working piece of software, are immediate and tangible. So certainly it is going to boost the creativity, and it will, teaches organizational skills. It teaches collaboration skills, boosts problem solving abilities. Creative and problem solving competencies are part of so-called 21st century skills. The creative use of digital technologies to solve problems is also related to computational thinking as a set of cognitive and metacognitive strategies in which the learner is engaged in an active design and creation process, and mobilize computations, concepts, and methods.
That's
So
wonderful.
yes, lots of skills are going to be inculcated.
Almost all the skills are developed when you are using coding. It may be whatever you talk about. Thank you so much, ma'am. We'll come up to Abhishek sir. Abhishek sir, as you have heard in the first round with the eminent guests, they have spoke about the wonderful about robotics or coding. We will like to know a straight question from you again, that why should be coding taught in schools? Because when we are saying it should be start from grade 1 onwards, so how these concepts you people are taking up, like you said, that few things you join up and it is working according to your wish, so it becomes a robotics. It's not like that. So how and why should we take up robotics in the school from the very basic, like you told? As I was saying, till now it was taken till from class 11, 12th onwards. Why should we take up schools in this primary level, and how we should take it? We want to know from you, sir.
Thanks a lot, sir. So first of all, just to make the environment lighter, I would say like I'm in the right profession because all principals are in alignment. So that's good for our country as well as for our company also, because everyone is aligning to the fact like the coding is mandatory for the kids. Now, like as we were stating earlier also, like it should start from the early child. So if you allow me to share the screen, sir, I will just show how we can teach, how we teaches to the small kids. Kids who are not in higher grade, but small kids, how do we begin? Then how we take it forward for the other class? Because what is happening now with the advent of NEP, like here most of the principals are they are very like dignified principals. But imagine in India, like we are there are if you say like class A, class B, and class C, 3 category of school. Each kid is not so many economically like I would say blessed where he can afford high school. So basically, we try to cater each of the section through our solution. Without taking much time, I would just share my screen and I will just show like how do we basically tackle this problem. Allow me a second, sir. Okay. So kindly let me know if you are able to see my screen. Basically, yeah. So basically, sir, we teaches everything to the kid in a like complete graded manner. Say, if I talk about the small kids, we teach them visual programming. Now, visual programming, as I was saying, it's a very small, it's a very simple thing. Using blocks, kids can do many things. So, if I want you to show one example, I will just show.
We're not able to see your screen, sir.
Oh, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry for that. Is it visible now, sir?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is what I was saying, ma'am. We need not to teach coding to the small student. We just need to like bring the curiosity and like bring the interest toward the topic. Like for an example, if I want this computer to make this bear walk in the jungle, see, the bear is walking in the jungle. Okay, this looks like a very complex thing, but see how easily it is done. Just using few blocks. Here, if you see just 3-4 blocks, move, wait, and next. That's it. Using this, we can teach kids, okay, how the block moves. Basically, how to do the visual programming. Now, coming back to the sir, like this is for the small kids. Now, if I want to teach to the higher kids, like Sukun sir already said, like they are teaching AI and ML. So we all like our platform also provides those functionality. We also like enables kids to perform AI ML based activity also. where we do like these days, we all of us are using Facebook or Instagram, something like that. You see many things, sir. You see different filters on your face, different filters on your nose. If you guys are using iPhone, it automatically get unlocked using your face. Right? So there is lot of the things which goes behind the scene, how those things are done. We also try to teach kids, at least graduate them, how these things are done. So I will quickly show that also. So this is a basic AI/ML based activity. If you see, sir, left hand side we have explained how this works, and right hand side, see, the kid can very easily see. Here a kid is in happy mode, so we can say like the emotion is happy. Similarly, you can do n number of other things in here actually. So if you want to learn how to recognize, how to detect a face, sir, actually, very simple thing. I need to detect a face, like iPhone detect a face, unlock our screen. Now kids should know how these things work behind the scenes. So left hand side we provide some example. Kid can try and run them in the real time, and the face is detected. Kid can also do some experiment on the fly. If they want to do something, they want to change something or write their own thing, they can also do that, sir. So that was the thing I was telling, sir. Like,
Right.
we should.
So you had put something in your social media also, that this is the
Correct.
first thing you have brought up in India. Yesterday I saw your that presentation in the media.
Correct.
What is that, sir?
Yeah.
With India's first reprogrammable robot,
Sure.
EMO.
Students can write programs
Here I would
and
like to say-
control this amazing robot the way they want. To move EMO in linear motion, students can write program to move EMO in non-linear motion. And students can write program to rotate EMO.
So, sir, as I was saying, robotics is not like just assembling the few things and doing something. So I have this robot at my hand with me. Actually, what I was telling you, sir, a robot should be completely reprogrammable. So if you see, like, I remove the brain from the robot, you write some logic to this and insert here, and it will perform doing some activity. Like I was telling, sir, our body does n number of things. It detects the temperature, it detects the surrounding, it detects the sound. Similarly, we should teach the kid in similar way. Now see, it start working. It's just saying hi to all of you, this robot. But I can program it and do something, program it to perform some other activity. So those kind of 350 plus activity also we are teaching to the kid, like how to recognize the temperature, how these two robots, these two small gadgets can talk with each other. The way you and I are speaking, these two can also speak. Now how they can speak? They can speak using the radio wave. So those kind of things, nitty-gritty, we have to teach to the kid in a very funny way. And the best part is, sir, when the kid writes something and they see something in front of them using these small gadgets, which we call as code in pocket-sized computer. So that again motivates them to learn something new. So this is how, sir, basically I can
So
say.
these are in the form of a kit, a small parts you have, which you teach to the students from grade 1 onwards.
Correct.
That's,
sir. Yeah.
so slowly and steadily they keep on learning these things, sensors. I mean, the smelling sensing and talking sensing and whatever the other senses are. And then they come to know that how they can, bring them together, and they can, like we're talking about washing machine, the sensors have been added, programming has been added, that you have to wash this. So that way they will be able to learn the depth of the things, what they're trying to do.
So basically,
And that is why we say, this is very important and essential for the children to learn this from the very basic.
yeah. So that's what we cover. Actually, we cover from class 1 to 12. We teach them everything. Like we start with basic building blocks. Like I have shown you the visual programming where a bear was walking. That is for small kids to generate some curiosity. When they become some little bit older, they can learn C, C++, and Python, which is also there in our solution. When they become more advanced, they can do this kind of basic hardware programming where they do a small task like detecting the temperature, hearing the sound, hearing the music. Okay. Then once they become more interested, they can create an entire robot like this, and this will be the brain of that robot. So we call it India's first reprogrammable robot, because whatever robot you have seen, sir, by default it comes with something. It does a similar kind of thing every time, repetitive kind of thing. But this is reprogrammable robot. Whatever you write, the robot will be able to do that, like move in a straight line, rotate in a circle, rotate in a zigzag path, we have also given some sensors to the robot, like line following robot. You can write the program. Kid can write the program to move it in a line. Those kind of things, sir. Basically, we have to inculcate the creativity. We should not stop them with something. We are just here to provide it. As ma'am and sir told, like we are just here to facilitate the learning. So we also have the similar motto. We'll give you complete graded curriculum from class 1 to 12, but that will not be the end of it. You can create infinite number of activity on our platform, and the best part is that it's completely offline. You do not need any internet. It works seamless with all of your lab computers. As I was talking about class B and class C kind of schools, where the internet is again a big challenge in India. So it works in complete offline mode, even in big schools as well as in small schools.
Right.
And as of now, I'm happy to share, like we are in more than 400 plus schools in India, Nepal, as well as in Tanzania, as well as in London also. So people are trusting us throughout the globe. Thank you, sir.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful, sir. Wonderful thing you brought. Some other things also we'd like to know in the last part of the session. Coming up to the next part of the show, as we know we are in shortage of time, I request all the eminent guests to make your answer precise into 60 seconds, please. I'll come up to Gunjan ma'am. Gunjan ma'am, we would like to know your views on this, saying that coding is almost in all the machines or gadgets or devices which you are using in daily life. What do you want to comment about that?
Yeah, of
60
course,
seconds.
Coding is there all around us. In fact, our life is all surrounded by gadgets these days, be it our mobile phones, laptops, washing machines, signal lights, microwaves, all household appliances, everything is there. But I think we call them smart. But rather these gadgets being smart, it's a smart brain of a human which has worked behind and feeded them a good set of instructions that they are behaving in a smart manner. And to hone those skills in our kids, I think coding is imperative. I would rather beg to disagree as well as agree a little bit with highly respectable Sukhwan sir, sorry. Probably, yes, of course, we have to give choices to children to choose their areas, whether they want to go ahead into a particular field or not. But I think basic knowledge of everything, there are two things. One thing is having an in-depth knowledge wherein you vertically, have build in your profile, and there is something called horizontally wherein you touch on every field and have a basic sense. So I think at school level, we are just focusing on a vertical elongation of their profiles wherein they know about coding as because it's a compulsory subject. So they know about it. They attend the class. They need not get a 90% in it, but they're just so that they are being exposed. And then later on, of course, as per their choices, they can decide wherein to specialize and where not to specialize. And it was a real pleasure to know about Abhishek Mishra sir's the kind of work he's been doing and associating with schools. So thank you for that too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. We'll come up to Samir sir. Samir sir, are you there? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir,
Yes. We will also like to know your views on the saying that coding is everywhere in every gadgets what we are using. Sir.
Mhm. Yes, sir. As you are saying, coding is everywhere, directly or indirectly, and now it's paving its way into those things which is not related directly to the computer. For example, after the introduction of artificial intelligence, everywhere, be it the logistic things, be it something like even the book. For example, I'm a member of American Library also. So there also the books are coded in such a way that nobody can take the books outside without the permission in the form of microchips, sensors. When it comes to gadgets, most of the gadgets are, full of coded things. Coding is something like how to control the things. So everything is based on the codings or programmings or a kind of machine learning things. As long as we are moving forward in the computerized world, it would be accelerating. Now there is no chance to revert it back, right? And from the publishing, from websites, apps, softwares, everywhere coding is there. Even in our washing machine timers, remote controls, mobile phone, telecom, everywhere coding is necessary. And the future is of not only coding, sir. Future will be of AI, and after AI, according to me, there would be again natural intelligence will come, human intelligence will come. Because one movie was there, Matrix Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, when machine captured the human intelligence. But according to me, after some time again we would be inclined toward the core intelligence of the human being. Elon Musk is working on this Neuralink and all those things. From the Charles Babbage or Ada Lovelace, the first lady programmer in the world, everywhere there are many programmer, many coders, but ultimately what matter is our gray matter. We are the people
घर पर
who
काम में
created,
बैठने का
we are the people
पीछे
who
का
created all those things. So yeah, coding is everywhere, it will be there. And again, I think I emphasize that coding should be taught in the form of different ways, not only because sometimes people have a nomophobia, they are afraid of the gadgets of the technology, so that would be very difficult for them. So start with the critical thinking, reasoning, chess, abacus. These things should be introduced in the beginning, and then after we can move forward to the coding and programming and ML and AI, something like this. This
That's
is all.
wonderful, sir.
Thank you
That's
so much.
wonderful, sir. Thank you so much, sir. We'll come up to Thapar, sir. Thapar, sir, we will like to know your views in 60 seconds about what is the future of coding.
Sir, I strongly believe that the ones who are going to learn this coding will come out better than others. And as Gunjan ma'am said, that at school level, we have to expose the children. That's the reason why we have introduced artificial intelligence or coding right from class 1 onwards. But yes, of course, we need to also ensure that children are not, say, punished for not getting into it as we expect them to do. Future of coding is excellent. The world is spending more than ever on these kind of programs, and the ones who will be good at coding will be landing up with better jobs, better wages in the days to come. And as Samir sir has already pointed out, that human intelligence has got no alternative. I would like to add one small anecdote wherein the scientists went to the god and said that now we have come to the level where we can make a human being out of dust. We can just pick the dust from the soil, and through our process, like Jurassic Park is an example of that, where they could detect chromosome from the mosquito that they got from the amber. So they said we have come to the level where we can make a human being out of dust also. And God listened to them and said that make dust first, then you think of making a human being. So that is what we are there. The human brain is the best coding device that we have got. And of course, we are here to make the world better. And these great scientists, I would say, the ones who are preparing the codes are doing a wonderful job. Hello, beta. Nice to hear you. Nice to see you here.
Thank you, sir.
And we shall be interacting with you soon. Okay?
Okay, sir.
And thank you, Sarabpreet ji, for bringing us all together. And thank you, Abhishek.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
highlighting
Thank you
the
so much.
importance. Thank
I'll
you.
come up to Meenakshi ma'am now. Thank you, sir. I'll come up to Meenakshi ma'am. Ma'am, we have seen the error which we are looking into. We'd like to know your views from manual to machine or technology.
Thank you, sir. I do agree with Sami, sir. Tasks like reading newspaper, household jobs, bargaining in shopping, these things come naturally in our generations, and consciously as well as unconsciously, we all worked hard to sharpen these skills. Today, majority of these tasks can be done more effectively and efficiently by mere use of technology. So at such times, if we go ahead and equip our kids to understand and use the technology better, then I feel these skills will definitely help them to propel in, life smoother. As per one of the article by Nick Morrison in Forbes magazine, technology has transformed education, but while students learn how to use it, they rarely learn how it works. So now, a growing realization among educators that this gap needs to be filled in promoting a new revolution in the belief that teaching children how to code will give them a skill for life, right? And progress or advancement in human life is inevitable. If we knew fire, we somehow reached to firearms, steam engines. If we found out about DNA, it led to finding cures of many life-threatening diseases too. So if
Right.
today we know technology, why can't we make it accessible to every human mind so that they can come up with next best thing to do with it? As Samir sir said that after this, what? So it's time we stop being passive consumers of the technology and start being active producers of the same. And coding for kids can be the first step towards it.
That's wonderful.
So,
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, ma'am. Abhishek sir will come up to you as an expert. You have heard everyone, and everybody is saying with the same mindset that coding is very important. And just now, Meenakshi ma'am said that it should be accessible to everyone. Now, coming up to the main part of the session is that how it is accessible. I mean, is it economical or is it very expensive? Because when the schools, I think not even 1% of the schools in India, they have coding or robotics labs in their schools as of now in big cities also. So how are you making it? The most important thing is you have to have this lab and this much expensive. So is that economical? You're talking about, you just talked about that there are 3 levels of school: A category, B category, and C category, according to the fees and all. How are you making these things accessible to the students everywhere in A, B, and C category schools?
Just, that's a very good question, sir. The answer is yes. It's very economical to everyone. Like me, like I being an Indian, my first job is to serve my country also. Like as Thapar sir already pointed out, like some of the companies are charging like say 1 lakh rupees per student. I would say the entire lab solution of ours is just 1.2 or 1.3x of that one student fees. You can teach entire student for entire, the school can, this is a complete offline device. They can just buy it once and use it for lifetime. They can at least teach to 2,000 to 3,000 students per year using this much small amount, sir. So this is very, very, very much economical.
So how we are able to use this single device with all the kids?
Yeah. So basically, sir, the device has the capability to automatically integrate to all of your lab's computer in complete offline mode. So it support up to 30 computer at once. So on each 30 computer, kids can start doing the programming without using any extra software, just our internet browser. That is sufficient. Using the browser, kids can do different kind of activity. They can write their own code also, save on that computer, and without using any extra software. So that's the beauty.
So
of
you mean to say that every kid does not need to have a single unit with himself?
No,
that one kid, if we have 30 computers, that kid will become 31.
Correct.
We are attaching
Correct.
30
31. One kid, and we will give this 4 extra along with the kid. We will give this 5 PSPs also to do the hardware programming. So the system will have 75 inbuilt hardware programming. Again, I said limit is endless, but 75 must do activities will be there also, and overall close to 400 programming activity like C, C++, Python.
So that is for all the grades or for the smaller grades only?
Sir, that is from class 1 to 12 for each.
So one kid can, if there is a student of somewhere an average of 2,000 students in a school, one kid is sufficient. And you are trying to say, yeah, if this kit is added to all the computers in the school, the computers will itself work as a kit, and it can take up all the commands and all the passwords and everything they can make.
The one more beauty is like in a lab, you can teach on one computer, you can teach class 1. In one computer, you can teach class 2. In another computer, you can teach class 3. Theoretically, you can teach 31 classes. Theoretically.
Abhishek sir, can you repeat the cost?
Sir,
let's not talk about the cost and everything over here, but it's very economical. It's very economical.
It's way economical, sir. Whatever you have put it for White Hat, sir, it's less than just 1.x time of that price for entire school, not for kids, sir, for entire schools. You may have 100 students, you may have 1,000 students, you may have 5,000 students. Cost will not vary, sir. And one important thing I just wanted to show.
We had that concept that every child must be needing a kit individually. That is not there. That is not there. One kit can serve the whole school.
Correct. That's what we vision, sir, because like class C or class B kind of school cannot afford all those things, sir. And the very basic principle which we believe is like coding must be taught at the school, because students are very much comfortable with their own teacher, their own group of students. That's where they can learn in much better way rather than learning it online one-on-one over the internet. So that's what we aim for.
And one thing very good, I came to know that there is no internet connectivity needed when you are using all these kits.
It's completely offline, sir. So the device is capable of creating its own network, which will automatically connect to all of your computers. So
I was very much amazed. I was very much amazed with looking into all these things, because we had all this misconception when we were working as a principal that, you know, robotics lab or your coding lab is a very big thing to bring it introduced into the schools. How will the management accept for that? The most important thing is after pandemic, managers does not want to invest anything more. I mean, heavy amount they cannot invest. But that is what we are talking about. It is very economical and it can reach to all the students with one kit. That is the most and the best thing I found out. What you told about these amazing kits.
So we have got our patent also, sir, with Indian government on our website. I will share with Dignitary one after the session. One last thing which we were discussing, not directly related to this session, but as Samir sir was saying, like in future we can do something like if we think something and something will happen. I just wanted to take your permission just for 5 or 10 seconds. I have done something amazing like that. I just wanted to show it just for 5 seconds, where I just lit a bulb just by thinking. If you allow me 5 or 10 seconds, I will show it. So this was like kind of the defining moment for me also, where I was able to lit a bulb just by thinking. If you are able to see the screen, just let me know, sir.
My goodness.
So
what will happen to the layman if he will not be able to do all this himself?
So basically, we are coming something for the people, sir, who are unfortunately met with some accident or who are paralyzed. So basically, we are heavily in, like I said, biomedical area, which fascinated me a lot. So we are investing, doing a lot of R&D. Here, which I have shown to the dignitary on the stage, we were passing your EEG signal, sir. Like the way we are talking or thinking something now, our brain continuously keeps emitting some signal like alpha wave, beta wave, gamma wave. Samir sir must be knowing it. So
I think Stephen Hawking was helped out by his own students.
So I wrote a machine learning algorithm for that, just to pass the delta signal, most prominent delta signal, I would say. So I was just thinking loudly, okay, lit double, yes, and my algorithm sends that, and then it lit the bulb to a circuit and all those things. Similarly, I can turn off the bulb. So those things also, sir, we are doing as a company. Just though that was not related to this, but since people are interested, I thought just to say. Thanks for
That's wonderful. That's wonderful, sir. Abhishek, sir. So much of things you have let in that we were having a lot of misconception or not knowing anything about coding. I only knew but that it is a programming. That's a programming of a computer. That's it. It works like human being work, like programming works. But there are a lot of things what we talk about. It's so economical that every school they can bring up to their level. It may be any category school, and this is the future. Without that, the person will be regarded as illiterate. You are not knowing coding, you will be regarded as illiterate. What I have come to know about through this session for sure. That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Abhishek sir, that you have given up, enlightened us with so much about coding. Of course, I'll be sharing the details with each other. You can get in contact. Coming up to the last part of the session, as you know, is the theme of the show, that the last 5 to 10 minutes are the me time, where we have to sing 2 lines. All the dignitaries have to sing 2 lines. And Thapar sir, your Mati is still in my ears. That wonderful song that you sung, that wonderful, not song actually, it was whatever it was, sir, that was wonderful. Shabad, whatever it was. Sir, you will be the showstopper at the end. We'll call you. But let us call the freshers one who have come for the first time. And Meenakshi ma'am, you have come for the first time. You have to sing 2 lines, anything, filmy, original, patriotic, anything you want to sing, whatever favorite you have. Just feel that you are a student right now.
Okay. So I always treat myself as a student because I'm learning from each and everything. So,
ma'am, we will never grow up. We are in the age group of 3 to 18. We never go up to the counting above 18. We always remain below that only, for sure. That makes sense us young always.
Song. Sir, okay. Maybe it's not relevant with the, right now with the webinar.
No relevancy is needed, ma'am. This is me time.
Okay. Sama, ye suhana, oh sama, ye suhana, अकेले तुम हो, अकेले हम हैं, कोई किसी का दीवाना, हो कोई किसी का दीवाना, दीवाने तुम हो, दीवाने हम हैं. Sorry.
Wonderful, ma'am. Wonderful, ma'am. I'm talking to the Indian Idol people to start up a show with the educationist. The only season with the educationist. And somewhere you are going to the finals, ma'am, not even the quarterfinals or semi-finals. Wonderful voice you have, ma'am. Sameer, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, your chance, sir.
What to do, sir?
Sir, you have to sing, sir. Don't be so innocent, sir. You know it very well, sir. Gunjan, ma'am, you're not going anywhere, ma'am.
Shall I ask some questions in place of singing?
Not at all, sir. That will be out of syllabus. This is a me time, sir.
Okay. सूरज की गर्मी से तपते हुए तन को मिल जाए तरवर की छाया, ऐसा ही सुख मेरे मन को मिला है जब से शरण तेरी आया मेरे राम. That's it, sir.
Wonderful, sir. But a very beautiful song. It is, it touches the heart. You feel goosebumps when you listen to this. Thank you so much. Gunjan, ma'am.
I'm not a singer, so I was just Googling quickly the lyrics of some song. So I found out. So let me just read out the lyrics and I'll try to sing whatever I can. That's the latest movie that I've just seen 2 days back, so I'm going ahead with that. केसरिया तेरा इश्क है पिया, रंग जाऊं जो मैं हाथ लगाऊं, दिन बीते सारा तेरी फिक्र में, रहने सारी तेरी खैर मनाऊं, दिन बीते सारा तेरी फिक्र में, रहने सारी तेरी खैर मनाऊं. Thank you.
So nice.
So good talent we have in India in our educationists have. Ma'am, you're also going to semi-finals, ma'am, for sure, ma'am. Abhishek, sir, you will be the second last one because Thapar, sir, will be the, last one.
I will just sing 2 lines, sir. Bear with my voice. It's not good. So, रुक जाना नहीं कहीं तू हार के, कांटों पे चल के मिलेंगे साहे बहार के, ओ राही ओ राही ओ राही ओ राही. Thank you, sir.
Good, very good.
Well done, sir. Well done, sir. Abhishek, sir, well done.
Thank you.
Thapar, sir, the showstopper, sir.
So what about you, sir?
सर हमको आपके सामने क्या है सर?
Nice question, sir. नहीं आज तब भी गाएंगे सर.
So last time we had gone in for a similar kind of session. Unfortunately, your screen setup was not supporting, and only one person was visible throughout the session.
Sir, that was the fault of the technical person.
Yes, that
he
was
had
dropped.
clicked somewhere. It was showing the face of one person only, but it won't happen,
Yes.
sir.
So let me repeat that same song that I had sung. It's
Sure,
it's in praise of the Lord, wherein the singer is trying to look around and just find the presence of God in everything. Sab malak te rang ne. ਅੰਬਰਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਡਿੱਗਦਾ ਏ ਪਾਣੀ, ਮੀਂਹ ਦਾ ਰੂਪ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ। ਅੰਬਰਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਡਿੱਗਦਾ ਏ ਪਾਣੀ, ਮੀਂਹ ਦਾ ਰੂਪ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ। ਕਿਵੇਂ ਦੇਂਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਦੁੱਧ ਵੇ ਮੱਝਾਂ, ਸੁੱਕੀ ਧੂੜੀ ਖਾ ਕੇ। ਕਿਵੇਂ ਦੇਂਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਦੁੱਧ ਵੇ ਮੱਝਾਂ, ਸੁੱਕੀ ਧੂੜੀ ਖਾ ਕੇ। ਪੰਛੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਉੱਡਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ, ਪੰਛੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਉੱਡਣ ਲਈ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਖੰਭ ਨੇ, ਸਭ ਮਾਲਕ ਦੇ ਰੰਗ ਨੇ ਬੰਦਿਆ, ਸਭ ਮਾਲਕ ਦੇ ਰੰਗ ਨੇ, ਸਭ ਮਾਲਕ ਦੇ ਰੰਗ ਨੇ ਸਜਣਾ, ਸਭ ਮਾਲਕ ਦੇ ਰੰਗ ਨੇ. One more antara I will sing. He says, ਤਿੰਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਫਰਕ ਬੜਾ ਹੈ, ਤਿੰਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਫਰਕ ਬੜਾ ਹੈ, ਸਾਰੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਮੰਨੇ. There's a lot of difference between the three. The whole world agrees to it. ਤਿੰਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਫਰਕ ਬੜਾ ਹੈ, ਸਾਰੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਮੰਨੇ. ਇੱਕੋ ਮਿੱਟੀ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਉਗਦੇ ਅੱਕ, ਇਮਲੀ ਤੇ ਗੰਨੇ. From the same soil, ak and imli and ganna grow. He says, ak koda, imli khatti, ganne kyun mithe khand ne, sab malik de rang ne bandiya, sab malik de rang ne, sab malik de rang ne sajana, sab malik de rang ne. Thank you.
Hail, sir. Hail, hail, sir. Hail. You are genius, sir. You are genius and wonderful, multi-talented, sir. It's pleasure to have you on the show all the time, sir. I hope you all had a very wonderful time today, and hope to see another session, another show very soon. Thank you, Abhishek, sir, Thapar, sir, Meenakshi, ma'am, Sameer, sir, Gunjan, ma'am. I hope you all had a wonderful time. Hope to see you again. Thank you.
गाने दे कुछ लेना गा के सर, गाने दे कुछ
Sir?
गा के तुसी जाओगे.
अच्छा.
Yes, that's
आप
beautiful.
बताइए.
Chandhok sir, we are waiting to listen.
Yes.
Yes, we are just waiting.
चलो, let's talk about what we are about to leave with each other. चलते चलते मेरे ये गीत याद रखना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Best among all of us.
Sir, nothing above you, sir. You are taking the trophy, sir. Nobody will get that for sure. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you,
hope we'll
everyone.
meet again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Had a nice
Thank you, everyone. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll share the
Chandhok,
details with each other.
Chandhok, sir, I wish to
Yes.
communicate with Mr. Abhishek further.
Sure, sir.
If possible, please provide his
I'll
contact.
share the details with each other, sir. All of you. I'll share the details of each other.
Thank you,
आप सब एक
sir.
दूसरे को जान लो.
What I have learned from you is lots of gratitude and humbleness. Thank you, sir. You are great.
Meenakshi ma'am, your energy was really great.
Thank you, sir.
If you had even not
Thank you.
told that you are from physical education department, I had already guessed it.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
I think,
Thank
Sharma
you,
ma'am, you're also Punjabi. You are also Punjabi.
I'm not Punjabi, I'm Dogra. I'm
Okay.
from Jammu. Yeah. But
Oh, very
yes,
good.
I understand.
Next time
Punjabi.
a song in Dogri, ma'am. For sure. Next
Okay.
time when you're coming. Okay, ma'am. See you. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.
Sameer, sir, thank
Bye-bye,
you.
everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye,
Thank you so much.
Abhishek. Yeah.
Bye, ma'am.
सर दो कस्टमर तो और मिल गया आपको.
बस अप्रोच करेंगे सबको सर.